Hey, it's Shana Meyerson with YOGAthletica in Los Angeles, California, here today to help you open your shoulders. If you have tighter shoulders, you're probably going to want a strap. And if you're watching this video, you probably have tighter shoulders, so you probably want a strap, so grab a strap. This video is for Charles Rath, my biggest fan, who not only gave me this shirt, but actually put me onto a shirt. Only my mother could possibly top that. Like, not even my father, just my mother. So Charles Rath, #1 fan behind mom, but I don't even think mom counts. So, let's get started, shall we? Okay, we don't need the strap right now, so you can have like your shirt by or something, get you your strap while we do this. We're gonna start off with a puppy dog pose. This is a beautiful one for opening not only the shoulders, but the upper back. Remember, these two things are intricately connected. Take your hands up the wall, pretty far up the wall, like you're about to be arrested. I'm sure you guys all know what that's like. You can figure out how far back your feet go. I'm going to take my feet back about 1 foot from the wall. Now, tush goes back and chest presses to the wall. So you see how I'm looking up. My chest is on the wall. Oh, and looking up, I can see my awesome gold Buddha by John Beth Schneider, another student who gave me just an awesome gift. Okay, so arms are stretching up, and at the same time, imagine like you are dragging the wall down. Okay, so you're sort of pulling down to get this big opening here. Now, tush. Tush is moving backwards. So you're not going to get a lot out of this one if you just put your hands on the wall and lean your whole body in, okay, which is what I see people do sometimes. Or just touch your head to the wall so you're moving from your head instead of from your shoulders. So again, it's hands very high, about shoulders width apart. Tush goes back, chest goes in. You see how I go a little bit lower as I melt into my chest. Shoulders opening, my gaze is up. This is a terrific stretch, and it's totally entry level. Anyone can do it. If you move your feet back further, it will make it deeper. Okay, what does this translate into? This is puppy dog. You should be taking this shoulder opening into every single downward facing dog that you do as well. It's very clear that upward facing dog is opening the shoulders, but here are the problems I see in down dog. A, shoulders are too far forward. Remember, you want a straight line from your wrist to your hips, or even a bit concave. Okay, so if you feel like your shoulders are moving forward, they're in the wrong position, and you definitely need some shoulder opening. Second problem, rounding in the back. When you round in the back, it counter-indicates the shoulders. It's going to make your shoulders do the opposite of what you want them to do. It's going to close them off instead of open them. Now, both of these things, the shoulders open and the back round, which often come together, are a manifestation of tight spine, tight shoulders. They go together. So to get into the shoulder opening aspect of this, go maybe a little bit longer than you're used to. Bend your knees, lift up your tush, and you see how I can get really melty in my upper back, much like I did on the wall. With me, I can actually put my forehead on the floor. And if that's easy, notice how my tailbone stays high, I can start to straighten my legs, trying to get my heels down to the floor. Downward facing dog is not by default a shoulder opener. You have to get this melty chesty bit if you want to get the shoulder opening benefits. That's number 2. Number 3, Prasarita Padottanasana C3. C3PO. Okay. You might need a strap for this one if your shoulders are crazy tight. No judgment there. I'm not going to demonstrate this one with the strap per se. Okay, I'll demonstrate with the strap. So if you're holding a strap, you just hold like this, and you want the strap as small as possible. That's your demonstration. That's for people who can't interlace their hands behind their backs. Now, if you can, it's shoulders roll back and down, In all of our poses in yoga, it's always the same thing. Shoulders rolling back and down, interlace your hands, and see if you can straighten out your arms and squish your palms together. You might not be able to do it. You might be more like this. That's okay, but to the best of your ability, straighten and squish. Now notice how just shoulders back, straighten and squish really creates a lot of opening across my collars and shoulders. So I maintain that. Take your feet nice and wide. So how wide? If your hands are out to the sides, your feet should be approximately underneath your wrists. Taking that same grip, open your chest, okay? So collarbone openers, upper back openers are a big part of shoulder openers. Open your chest and start to go forward. Now when I go forward, I maintain a flat back. So it looks like this. When I say flat, I'm sorry, I actually mean a back bend, but not like this. You see again how the rounding of the spine causes my shoulders to roll down. That's the antithesis of what I'm looking for. I'm looking for shoulders back and down. So chest is puffing wide. I fold in, flat back, a little bit of a back bend, trying if you can to get your head to the floor. Now it doesn't matter if you can get your head to the floor or not, but arms go up and over towards the floor behind you. Now, make sure you hold your stretches for at least 5 breaths. Right now my main concern is just teaching you the poses. Remember also, your body is not as even as you think it is. Everything is quite uneven in fact. So if you have a grip with your right thumb on top, take your left thumb on top and move every finger over 1. Likewise, if you have left thumb on top, take your right thumb on top and move every finger over 1. Now you can do this from upside down. So if I'm in my cross arena, I can still just move everyone over. And you're going to find, especially if you have an injury in one shoulder, that switching the fingers will make a big difference in how you access the shoulders in the posture. Okay, so now we're going to do sort of a short 3 shoulder opening series. This is where you probably will want the strap. We're going to start with the strap and then I'll show you without the strap. Strap goes in your top hand. Remember, you always want the smallest strap possible. So futz with this until you get a small strap. I'm always a big fan of both hands in the loop, not one hand on the tail, so that you can really monitor how far apart your hands are. So I'll start with a moderate loop here. Oh, by the way, speaking of gifts, this came in my Yogi surprise box. And what a surprise it was. Really nice soft strap by Natural Fitness. Okay, I like it. Okay, so you take your strap in your top hand. Why your top hand? Because gravity makes the strap go down, and if you have it in your bottom hand, it doesn't really help your cause. So, top hand, arm goes up and over, reach up, find the loop. It's always a little challenging just finding the loop. If you have a friend, maybe they can help you with this one. And when you do this one, remember that your top arm is like a unicorn. I mean, like a unicorn that's behind your head. And you sort of press your head back into the arm to help create this stretch, right? You know the stretch. These are Gomukhasana arms. Now, without the strap, with me personally, I have 2 very bad shoulders. I've probably mentioned this to you before. So, how do I get into this a little more efficiently? I take an arm behind my back and sort of scoot it as far over as I can. In this case, my left hand. So my right arm comes behind and tries to find my elbow. Now notice how I pull my elbow in and at the same time sort of move my hand up my back. So you see how pulling in on the elbow has helped me to get my hand way up my back, which is going to make my clasp fairly easy. Okay? Now, once I have that clasp, elbow behind the head, right? Okay? So you got your unicorn here. It's a great stretch primarily on the bottom arm, and you want to hold this again for at least 5 breaths. And of course, we do everything on both sides. Now, keeping your left hand where it is, top arm release, and we're going to bring it across your face and see if you can find your hand behind you. And you don't want to be like El Bandito here. No banditos. Drop your elbow down to take this stretch. Now, if you have the strap, it's a little bit of a weird one. In fact, I never do this with the strap, so let's see how this works out. So I have my strap, and I need to take my elbow over my head to pull into this one. Okay, so this elbow is low, and my back arm never actually moved. So again, here I am, 5 breaths here, and we didn't move the left arm last time. This time we're going to maintain the right arm, the front arm in position. So now we're going to think about eagle arms, okay, or Garudasana. So right elbow stays low. This time release your left hand, your back hand, and take it underneath. I start with my left arm because it's my worst arm. So I take it underneath, double wrap, and see if I can get my hands parallel to the sides of the room, up in the air, and hands away from your body. These are just your basic eagle arms without the eagle legs, but it's a really nice stretch. Okay? So just to even things out, these are short holds today. Right arm behind. I find my elbow. Notice how when I pull in my elbow, my right hand creeps up my back, right? The higher it is, the easier it's going to be for my left hand to reach. So whether I have a strap or not, clasping and taking the hand behind the head. Remember, the head can press into the arm a little bit to help to create the stretch. Okay? You don't want it up here. You want it back here. And use your noggin. Okay? Then, once again, right hand back arm stays where it is. Left arm comes out and across. Seeing if you can find your hand in the other direction and pulling your elbow out of your face. Okay? So even though it's winter here in California, it's been a really cold one in LA, but now we're back up to 80 degrees. So I get to wear my tank top, and I don't need any mufflers. That was, I don't need any mufflers. But if you need mufflers, take them out just for yoga. Here we go. Left arm, I think they're called mufflers. I don't know, we're in California, we don't use those. Bottom arm comes out, top arm stays. Take your right elbow past your left elbow and double wrap. Now on that double wrap, remember that the hands do not turn. My left hand is facing right, my right hand is facing left, and that does not change. So you see on my double wrap, my left hand is still facing right, my right hand is still facing left, and to intensify the stretch on my shoulders, it's elbows up and hands away from my face. When I'm done with this, and I do this usually on the other side too, release the arms and Superman in a trash compactor, push the walls away. So flex your palms, hug your triceps, push, 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 just to release the any tension and let it go. Now, one more thing, and this is just an everyday thing. In life, be sure you always have your shoulders in that back and down position. Way too often people walk with their shoulders in this forward position, which is not good for my posture and it's not good for my overall well-being. You want to open your shoulders all day long. Shoulders, back and down. Also, it opens up your heart and lets the sun shine in. This is Shana Meyerson with YOGAthletica in Los Angeles, California. Have an awesome new year.